Let's go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Heartland Championship Wrestling. My name is Dave Little, and we are coming to you live from the Dave Cave with action from Patriot Championship Wrestling. We are at the D.C. Armory in Washington, D.C. with a big show here tonight. Your main event will be for the Patriot Tag Team Championship as the Road Warriors, the devastating, the dominating Hawk and Animal, take on the team of Stan Stasiak and Dutch Savage. The Road Warriors have torn through the tag team ranks in the Patriot Championship Wrestling territory, and they have gone so far down to the bottom of the pecking order that we got to get black and white cards out to find opponents for the Road Warriors. But it is Stan Stasiak and his partner Dutch Savage out of the Pacific Northwest taking on the Road Warriors in tonight's main event. And we have got a house full of dignitaries. Solo promoter Grant Bachoco is here. Neely Bob is here. Captain Carl 8230. And I don't think that was always your number. I think Captain Carl got a promotion, if I am correct. And J.M. Ferguson 123 is here. And of course, as always, Neely Bob first in line at the turnstile. And he is accompanied by champions from Velvet Wrestling. Moondog Rex, the heavyweight champion here in the house. Guillermo Rosas, the Intercontinental champ, and Lacey Ryan. And the ladies champ, Martina, the ladies Intercontinental champ. We claim the front row on the west side, and I don't think anybody dares to stand up to a collection of talent of that magnitude. So all hail to the Velvet contingent here in the front row. Thank you all for joining us here tonight. Before we came to action, we had a couple of preliminary matches. Ilio DiPaolo started off the show with a victory over Butch Reed by way of the airplane spin. Surprisingly, Bob Armstrong took the measure of Mark Henry with a knee lift. Henry gasped after Armstrong played duck and move, zig and zag inside the ring and out. Henry gassed out Mark Henry, and Armstrong gassed out Mark Henry and pinned him after a knee lift. And just before we came to action here on the channel, it was a disqualification finish in the tag match. The debuting tag team of Iceman Parsons and Brickhouse Brown disqualified. Disqualified, I say, in a match against Steve Kern and Bill Dundee. It was Iceman King Parsons it was Brickhouse Brown making his Heartland wrestling debut and wrapping the cable around the neck of Steve Kern to cause the disqualification. Much controversy over that. Brickhouse Brown, I don't know if he was not quite up for the pressure of the big stage or what it was that caused him to lose his cool, but he got disqualified. And Steve Kern and Bill Dundee, your winners. And that brings us to tonight's televised action here on the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network. So we will move some papers around and we will introduce our opening televised contest. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall, with a 45-minute time limit. Disqualification rules are in effect. This is a standard Patriot Championship Wrestling contest. Introducing first, just down the road from Boston, Massachusetts. He stands at 5'11". He weighs 252 pounds. This is the Prince of Darkness, Kevin Sullivan. So Kevin Sullivan here to open the show, the televised broadcast. And his opponent hails from Princeton, Minnesota. He stands at 6'1" and weighs 234 pounds. This is Bob Backlund. So Bob Backlund and Kevin Sullivan. Gosh, talk about a battle of good versus evil, squeaky clean versus diabolical. It is Backlund and Sullivan here to kick off tonight's telecast in singles action. And again, thank you all to those in the chat room, and I would love to get a sound check. Last week I had some feedback that the sound was low, so please let me know. I tried to fiddle with the microphone settings; they seemed okay. I've got the microphone right up close to my mouth. So please let me know if the sound is low or if the sound is adequate. As we kick things off, Bob Backlund and Kevin Sullivan. And it is Kevin Sullivan who wins the opening initiative role. And Sullivan comes out and just stomps away at Backlund. Backlund not backing down, standing his ground as Sullivan just goes now to the rake of the eyes. Backlund staggered back a step, and Sullivan with a karate thrust. Backlund now going to fire back, and Backlund takes Sullivan over with a fireman's carry down into an armbar. Sullivan quickly to his feet, looking for an opportunity to retaliate, and out of nowhere, he just wallops Bob Backlund on the side of the head with a hooking clothesline, and Backlund is stunned by that. He is down. There's no pin roll needed for that. Backlund a pin one, but he does absorb a point of fatigue. And with that hooking clothesline, Kevin Sullivan has taken control, and he's going to go right to the pile driver. This is a +2 finishing move. The pin roll here is 4 or lower. And on a roll of 10, Backlund able to kick out, but he is already in trouble in a hurry. Backlund fresh off of a concussion, suffered at the hands of Angelo Mosca. And Kevin Sullivan has rung Backlund's bell here tonight in D.C., and now he hits the pile driver a second time. The pin roll now is 5, and on a roll of 11, Backlund again forced to kick out. But already Backlund has taken some damage, and he has got a trickle of blood coming out of his forehead. And when Kevin Sullivan smells blood, bad things happen. And he is going to go right to the foreign object. What foreign object would that be? It's going to be a baseball bat. Kevin Sullivan with a baseball bat tucked away. That is an add one maneuver. That is a disqualification roll. He will not be disqualified. He's going to go again for the cover. The pin roll here is 5. And with a baseball bat to the side of the head, Kevin Sullivan has pinned Bob Backlund. Wow. What a messy, messy situation here in Washington, D.C. Bob Backlund, the prohibitive favorite in that match, taken out by Kevin Sullivan with a bonk to the noggin with that baseball bat. And Kevin Sullivan is your winner in tonight's opening televised contest. Wow, it has been a tough row to hoe. Commentary coming in from solo promoter Grant Bachoco. He came back too early from the injury, apparently, and indeed you may be correct, because Kevin Sullivan, when Sullivan smells blood, as I mentioned, bad things happen, and it did not end well for Backlund here tonight in Washington, D.C. Moondog Rex is apparently upset over some reason. Maybe that's not the... give me some insight into the anger being expressed by Moondog Rex. Does he have a beef with Kevin Sullivan? Is he upset that somebody not a moondog used a foreign object? What's the? Give us the backstory on that, if you would be so kind, Neely Bob, as we prepare for our next contest. The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 45-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect. Introducing first out of Kansas City, Missouri, standing at 6'1", weighing 268 pounds, this is Harley Race. And his opponent hails from parts unknown. Parts Unknown produced some of the finest wrestlers in the history of the sport. Have hailed from Parts Unknown, and this guy belongs right on that list. Standing at 5'10", weighing 233 pounds, it is the fabulous, the sensational, the intelligent, the Destroyer. All right, so Harley Race and the Destroyer set to move out here in Patriot Championship Wrestling in a singles match. And the opening initiative role is won by the Destroyer. Moondog Rex left his bone in the limo. That's awesome. And here's the Destroyer coming out with a snapmare and an arm lock. Taking Harley Race down. Race getting back to his feet. Destroyer stays on the offense. And he is going to go for a stomp to the hamstring. And he connects on that stomp to the hamstring, trying to take the base out from under Harley Race. And Race now down to one knee with the Destroyer still in control. Destroyer working him over with some forearm smashes to the side of the head. And Destroyer now takes Harley Race down with a leg scissors. Again, Destroyer starting off very intelligent, taking Race down to the match, trying to keep it at a slow, methodical pace. And now as Race gets to his feet, Destroyer will send Race into the turnbuckle. And coming off the turnbuckle, Race eats a big kick from the Destroyer. Destroyer maintaining the offensive here. And he is going to drop Harley Race across his knee with a backbreaker. As LK3185 joins us. Some great hotels in Parts Unknown, says J.M. Ferguson. Mark with us here. And now here is Destroyer with another whip to the turnbuckle. Race comes off the turnbuckle and eats another big kick from Destroyer, who has maintained control in this match, keeping it slow. Another whip to the turnbuckle, working those turnbuckles. And this time it is a shoulder tackle as Race comes off the turnbuckle. Destroyer takes him down to the canvas. Destroyer's maintaining control here, and now Destroyer's got him up and around in an airplane spin and down to the canvas hard. Race getting back to his feet. Destroyer stays on the offensive. Another big airplane spin, and Harley Race has had enough. He hits the canvas, rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And on the arena floor, Destroyer is just going to wait him out. And Race is going to take a breather. But Destroyer is not going to get drawn into a brawl on the arena floor. He's just going to wait for Race to make that helpless crawl back into the ring. And it is going to be a hip drop to the leg attempted by the Destroyer. He'll need a roll of 7 or lower to hit that on the choice C chart. And finally, Harley Race is able to avoid that move. And Race has the opportunity now to counter. And he goes with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes the Destroyer. And on a roll of 7, it is a high back body drop executed by Harley Race that sends the Destroyer down to the canvas. Race maintains control and now is going to go with another whip to the ropes. Drops down and Destroyer comes back the other way. And this time it is Harley Race coming off the ropes and on a Destroyer coming off the ropes. And on a roll of 9, that is the power rating, and the power advantage does belong to Harley Race. Race maintaining control now, and he's going to go to the Indian Deathlock, trying to weaken the Destroyer. Both these men wrestling a very technical, very thoughtful match thus far, as Destroyer makes his way to the ropes, and as Destroyer gets to his feet, Race sends him once again into the turnbuckle, and once again Race with a knee to the gut stuns the Destroyer. And Race now comes back with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes the Destroyer, and on a roll of 8, it is the Destroyer again suffering a big kick from Harley Race. Race maintaining control here. And Race now is going to go with yet another whip to the ropes. And, this time he comes up with a big neck-breaking clothesline. Does Race as Destroyer bounces off the ropes. Destroyer is down. And Harley Race with a chance to do some damage here. And he is going to pitch Destroyer out of the ring and down to the arena floor. Race, the superior brawler of the two men, and on a roll of 9, Race is going to win the brawl on the arena floor and just hurl the Destroyer over the security railing and into the crowd and force Destroyer to climb back into the ring where Harley Race is waiting on him, and Harley Race is going to catch him with a pile driver. This is a +2 finisher, and on a roll of 11, Destroyer able to kick out. But Harley Race with the first big move of the match, and Destroyer takes a point of fatigue. Now Race pitches Destroyer out of the ring yet again. And this time it is going to be Race again winning the brawl on the arena floor with a big suplex down onto the concrete. Not a soft landing for the Destroyer, as Race now is taken over, and he drops the Destroyer across his knee with a big backbreaker. Destroyer is down. Harley Race taking control here, and he's going to go back to the pile driver. He goes for the cover once again. The pin roll this time is 5, and on a roll of 7, Destroyer once again able to kick out. Harley Race asserting himself in this contest. It's been a good one, very scientific, but Race with his rough stuff is starting to gain control, and he now is going to attempt a running lariat. This is a choice F maneuver, and he hits the running lariats. And that takes Destroyer down and out of the ring yet again. Out of the ring goes the Destroyer, but this time it is the Destroyer who's going to win the brawl on the arena floor and slam the head of Harley Race into the ring post. When head meets post, that's not good for the head. Will Destroyer be disqualified for that? No, he will not. And Destroyer now is going to go up for a death jump. Death jump to be attempted here by the Destroyer, and on a roll of 7, that is a big flying double axe handle blow from the top rope that stuns Harley Race once again. And now Destroyer is going to go for the bombs away. That is an add 1 move, that big knee drop off of the top rope, and Race eats his first point of fatigue. Race slowly getting to his feet. Destroyer stays on him. Destroyer with a series of handstand knee drops, trying to work that leg. And Destroyer continues to hit those handstand knee drops. And Race once again is going to the outside of the ring. Out of the ring we go. And on a roll of 7, that is going to be a win for Harley Race. And he slams the head of the Destroyer into the ring apron. And Grandpa Choco will be the first to tell you the ring apron is the hardest part of the ring. So Destroyer not feeling well after that. And now another big backbreaker from Harley Race puts the Destroyer back on the canvas. And Race now going back to the pile driver. He's going to try and finish it right here. The pin roll is 6 or lower. And on a roll of 8, once again, Destroyer kicks out. Destroyer in a bad way here. Harley Race again taking control with another big backbreaker. Destroyer slowly tries to get to his feet. Race is on him with a headbutt. Destroyer is staggered. Race with another whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes the Destroyer. And another big kick by Harley Race stuns the Destroyer. Harley Race in control now, whip to the ropes. Destroyer coming off the ropes, and on a roll of 6, Harley Race drops down. Destroyer coming back the other way. And on a roll of 9, it is Harley Race with a big shoulder to the gut that stuns the Destroyer yet again. And now Harley Race with the Indian Deathlock, trying to slow down his masked opponent. Destroyer makes his way to the ropes to break the hold, and Race has got him up again, and another whip to the turnbuckle. And this time coming off the turnbuckle, it is a reversal. Destroyer grabbing the arm of Race and sending Race into the turnbuckle, but Race comes off the turnbuckle and nails Destroyer with a skull-splitting running lariat. Destroyer tumbles out of the ring and down to the arena floor once again. But on the arena floor now, it is going to be the all-out brawl. Disqualification rolls both ways. Destroyer will not be disqualified. Harley Race will not be disqualified. And on a roll of 4, it is Destroyer winning the brawl on the arena floor with a backdrop onto the announcer's table. Destroyer puts Harley Race through the announcer's table, and now Destroyer with a chance. He's going to go for, again, another bombs away. That's an add 1 move, and this one has got a cover. The pin roll here is 4, and on a roll of 4, he got him. Wow. What a turn of events. What a turnaround for the Destroyer. As he defeats Harley Race after it looked like Race had taken control of that match, but a very, very good match. Harley Race, I think, took things out to the arena floor maybe one too many times. Destroyer got the best of him out there and set him up for the bombs away and the pin. Out of nowhere, says Mark Ferguson. Yes, indeed, that is the case. Destroyer, your winner, and that is going to put him one step closer to a shot at the Patriot Heavyweight Championship. All right, while we take a break here, let's review what has happened in the chat room. There was some talk about getting those out of the ring and foreign object cards. Don't have the printer, though, yeah. I no longer have hard copies of these, but I do have the PDFs. But sure, what the heck. LK3185. If you hit me up on either the Filsinger message boards, where I am known as Epic Dave, or on Facebook, I will. I'll do what I can to hook you up with a set of these cards. I can make a run over to the printer this week and print off a set for you. If you don't have access to a printer, I am glad to do so. Just send me your contact info and we will hook you up. All right, so that gives us a moment to reflect on the title picture. I mentioned Destroyer is one step closer to a title match, but it is something of a long line. Your current heavyweight champion in Patriot Wrestling now is Buddy Rogers, but he is still battling with Ed Strangler Lewis over the claim to that belt. And they are scheduled for a best 2 out of 3 falls showdown. Actually, no, excuse me, a no disqualification showdown at our next pay-per-view. The next pay-per-view scheduled for Saturday, December the 20th from the Baltimore Arena. And that show will be Heartland Havoc 131, Proud to be Awesome. Proud to be Awesome. The band Mia Mira providing the theme song for Proud to be Awesome. And some of you may know Mia Mira as the band led by the one and only Jack Durakis, a.k.a. Gavin Loudspeaker, a.k.a. Loud and Noxious, a good friend of the Filsinger gaming community, and now a musician on YouTube. So look up Mia Mira Music on YouTube, and you can catch up with our buddy Jack. So yeah, Lewis versus Rogers at the pay-per-view. And that brings us to our next match. This is for the North American Heavyweight Championship. Which is our secondary title here in Patriot Championship Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall to a finish. This is a no disqualification match. All North American Heavyweight Championship matches are no disqualification. Introducing first out of Ravenna, Nebraska. He stands at an even 6 foot tall. He weighs 185 pounds. He is the Nebraska Tiger Man, John PESEK. And his opponent is your reigning and defending North American heavyweight champion. He is accompanied to the ring by James J. Dillon. He hails from Seattle, Washington. Standing at 6'4", weighing 255 pounds, this is Johnny Valentine. So Johnny Valentine, your reigning and defending North American heavyweight champion, has a good challenge from John PESEK coming up here. PESEK, a very accomplished submission wrestler. Very skilled technically, out of Thagos Trez Hall of Fame set number 2. And as they come to the center of the ring, it is Johnny Valentine who takes the opening initiative role, and he catches PESEK in a headlock. Valentine holding that headlock, and now works that over into an attempt at an arm drag, but PESEK is able to counter the arm drag, and it is PESEK who takes Valentine down to the canvas with a very nice drop toe hold and catches him in a lateral press key lock. We told you PESEK had some submission game, and he's already got Johnny Valentine in a bad way. And now he's going to go right to the Tiger Man toe hold. The Tiger Man toe hold, a +1 finisher. The title will change hands here on a roll of snake eyes, but that is not going to happen, as Valentine had that move scouted and was able to get to the ropes. But PESEK certainly making a statement here to start things off. Getting the best of Johnny Valentine with his submission game. And now it is PESEK just grinding his forearm into the face of Johnny Valentine. And Valentine isn't going to take that laying down. He gets up, and he is going to come back at John PESEK with another headlock. Johnny Valentine catching the headlock. PESEK goes behind, ducks under. What's PESEK going to do here? Now he's got him around the waist. Up and down to the canvas in a waist lock slam. Another good counter move by John PESEK, and the challenger is back in control. PESEK now goes back to that lateral press key lock, trying to work his submission game on the shoulder of Johnny Valentine. And now as Valentine gets to his feet, PESEK stays on him, and PESEK is going to attempt a shoulder throw. This is a choice F maneuver. Choice F. He will need 7 or lower to get him over. And on a roll of 9, Johnny Valentine is able to block that attempted shoulder throw, and it is Valentine who comes back and catches PESEK in a standing arm lock. Another good technical match. We've seen 2 good technical matches in a row here tonight. And in the center of the ring now, PESEK with a headbutt. Just thumps Johnny Valentine right across the forehead. Valentine stunned for a moment, but he is going to come back and attempts to catch that headlock again, but PESEK this time dodges that, and it is PESEK who takes Valentine back down to the mat with another takedown. And before you know it, Johnny Valentine is trapped once again in that lateral press key lock. Mark Ferguson weighing in. I used to see Johnny in Dallas. He and Papa Fritz had some great fights. All right, John PESEK now back in control on Johnny Valentine. What's he going to do? Valentine attempting to get out of the ring. PESEK not going to let that happen. And instead, it is PESEK who is going to try another go behind and takedown. Valentine wise to that one. And Valentine instead comes back on PESEK and catches him with a big knee lift. As PESEK tried to get behind him, Valentine shifted the hips, knee to the gut, and Valentine is back in control. And it is Valentine now with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes John PESEK, and on a roll of 8, Johnny Valentine catches him with a running back elbow that stuns John PESEK. Valentine now with a reverse toe hold, taking PESEK down to the mat. We're going to see more action on the canvas as Johnny Valentine continues to work that reverse toe hold. What's he going to do now? PESEK getting to his feet, but Valentine maintains control. Now he's got him in a standing arm lock. And PESEK still looking for an escape as Valentine continues to apply the pressure. And now Valentine, PESEK slips free, but Valentine pulls him right back into a headlock. Working that headlock again, PESEK trying to work his way free. And Valentine now with a big knee lift. And PESEK saw that one coming and instead takes Valentine down to the mat. And it is PESEK with a cross-leg pickup attempting to dump Johnny Valentine. Both men getting to their feet again. And Johnny Valentine now with an arm drag that takes PESEK down to the mat. Valentine keeping on the offensive, a big back suplex, and PESEK hit the canvas hard. Valentine with the power advantage, substantial, and if he can get that into play, he will be able to get the best of John PESEK. What's he going to do now? He is going to go for a forearm hammer across the chest. Some rough stuff. PESEK goes down. Valentine quick to apply the cover and force PESEK to kick out. Both men now have taken a point of fatigue. And now it's Valentine with the Atomic Skull Crusher. That's his +1 finisher. The pin roll here is 5, and on a roll of 6, PESEK just able to escape. But Valentine now with the momentum. James J. Dillon cheering him on as now the sleeper hold has been applied. Johnny Valentine has the sleeper on PESEK. PESEK flailing away at the air. And he is going to grab the top rope and slip out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And that may work to the advantage of Johnny Valentine. Sure enough, it does. Valentine comes out and slams the head of John PESEK into the ring post. Kathy Evans joins us here in the chat room. Welcome, Kathy. Valentine now with another Atomic Skull Crusher. He's going to go for the pin. The pin roll is 6, and on a roll of 10, PESEK able to escape again. But Valentine is in control here in a big way. He's going to go now for a front, a face lock, a roll-up, a choice C maneuver. He will need 8 or lower to complete this, and on a roll of 7, he got him over. And PESEK is able to quickly get back up to one knee. Valentine stays on him with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes PESEK, and on a roll of 6, he drops down. Valentine drops down. PESEK coming off the other way, and oh, a big specialty move, a big chop across the chest by Valentine, caught PESEK flush coming off of the ropes, and PESEK goes down. Wow, he is sucking wind on that one. And now back to the sleeper hold. PESEK working his way up to one knee, trying to avoid the dizzying effects of that sleeper hold. And Valentine takes him back down with a reverse toe hold and keeping PESEK grounded. And now PESEK tries to get to his feet. They come together in the center of the ring, and it is PESEK with another big headbutt that stuns Johnny Valentine. Both men going at it in the center of the ring. Back and forth we go. Here is Valentine with a big knee lift that stuns John PESEK. Valentine stays on him with another big back suplex, and PESEK hits the canvas hard once again. Reverse toe hold applied by Valentine. PESEK still stunned and trying to work his way free. A big chop to the chest delivered by Johnny Valentine as PESEK gets up. PESEK is stunned. Valentine stays on him with another big chop to the chest. PESEK is stunned. Valentine with an inside cradle. He goes for the pin, but PESEK able to kick out once again. Johnny Valentine firmly in control of this match, and now another Atomic Skull Crusher. This could be the end of it for John PESEK on a roll of 8 or lower, and on a roll of 7, he got him. Wow, that was a good match. PESEK really put up a good fight, but one too many Atomic Skull Crushers was more than PESEK could withstand. And Johnny Valentine has successfully defended the North American Heavyweight Championship here in Washington, D.C. So congratulations to both men on a fine match. That is whooping PESEK like the proverbial government mule. Indeed it is. Thank you, Mark, for dropping the knowledge. And thank you to everybody who has checked things out here tonight. Yeah, you know, last weekend, or I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago, I just couldn't get everything moving in the right direction on Saturday to get on the air. I think I had a dinner with my son or something that I went to. So I came on Sunday night instead of Saturday, and we probably had double the crowd on Sunday night as we typically have on Saturday. So I think I'm going to do Sundays, and we've got 8, 10, 11 folks here tonight, and that's more than we typically get on a Saturday. So I think Sunday nights are going to be the new Heartland Championship Wrestling regular gig as we prepare the ring for tonight's main event of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall to a finish. Disqualification rules will be in effect. This match is for the Patriot Tag Team Championship. Introducing first the challengers. Coming to the ring out of Scranton, Pennsylvania, standing at 6'4", weighing 265 pounds, this is Dutch Savage. Going all the way back to Legends 14 to get Dutch Savage involved here. I wonder if he'll ever be on the list for a color card. I saw this week that Dewey Robertson is getting a color card, and that's always a nice addition, along with number 1 Paul Jones and more names to come in the 2025 edition. But yeah, Dutch Savage, of course, the master of the coal miner's glove match. We already saw him previously take out Ricky Morton with the coal miner's glove. But Hawk and Animal is going to be a whole nother kettle of fish. And next to the ring will be his partner out of Buzzard Creek, Oregon, standing at 6'4", weighing 325 pounds, the master of the Heart Punch. This is Stan the Man Stasiak. Oh, he's got a color card, came out last year or the year before. How did I miss that? I probably have it in my archives somewhere. Or maybe not. Was it a Promoter Prime, or was it, Grant, thank you for the info. Was that a Promoter Prime card, or was that one of the expansion packs? Maybe it was a Promoter Prime edition that I missed out on. But maybe I can get my hands on that. But anyhow, Savage, Stasiak in the ring, ready for action. But they are going to have their hands full tonight with the reigning and defending Patriot Tag Team Champions, led to the ring by Gary Hart. At a total combined weight of 562 pounds out of Chicago, Illinois, it is Hawk and Animal, the Road Warriors. The Road Warriors, seconded by Gary Hart, here to defend the Patriot Tag Team Championship against Stan Stasiak and Dutch Savage. Here's some more information from Grant. He's in the set with Buddy Rhodes, Doug Summers, and the Grappler. I'll have to go look that up. All right, but we are set for action here in our main event. It will be Road Warrior Hawk starting things off against Stan Stasiak. And we'll see if Stan the Man can withstand the power of Road Warrior Hawk. It is Hawk who takes the opening initiative role, and Hawk who comes out with an eye gouge. It doesn't matter how big you are. If somebody gets you in the eye with a gouge, that ain't good. And here's another eye gouge. And Stasiak, not happy about that, fires right back. Stasiak just drives his knee into the gut of Road Warrior Hawk. And that backs off Hawk a half step and gives Stasiak the opening to do some damage. Stasiak with a big headbutt into Hawk. Hawk not able to make the tag as Stasiak comes at him with another headbutt. And this time Hawk is able to reverse that. And Hawk now just picks Stasiak up into the air, high overhead, gorilla press slam down hard to the mat. Hawk asserting himself here. He's going to tag in Animal. Animal coming into the ring now to do some damage with a big back body drop that puts Stasiak back down on the mat. Hawk comes at him now with a blatant choke. We don't need no stinking rules, says Animal. As Animal stays on him, continuing to choke his man. Stasiak trying to get the tag, unable to do so. And now it's going to be a double team opportunity for the Road Warriors. And on a roll of 9, it is a deadly elbow smash delivered by Road Warrior Hawk coming off the ropes. Hawk in control in the ring against Stasiak. And now they are going to hit the running double clothesline. Big move by the Road Warriors. That is going to cost Stasiak a point of fatigue. He tries slowly but surely to get to his feet. Hawk is on him with a jumping fist drop. Stasiak now is on his feet, going to try and get something done with a kick to the gut, and that will be enough for him to get out and tag in Dutch Savage, entering the match for the first time. Dutch Savage comes in with an with a kick to the midsection, and Hawk is going to fire right back. Hawk comes right back at him with a series of forearms. In fact, a forearm pummel. A forearm pummel delivered by Hawk. But Savage is able to withstand the pummel and come back with a set of brawling and kicking punches of his own. Brawling punches and kicks from Dutch Savage. Hawk not able to make the tag. Savage beats him down in the corner. And Savage now throws Road Warrior Hawk out of the ring. Boy, talk about more guts than brains. And on the arena floor, it is indeed Dutch Savage who wins the brawl and slams the head of Hawk into the ring post. Hawk gets his bell rung there. And let's see, A11, will that be a disqualification roll? Yes, it is. Dutch Savage may be disqualified for that. He will not. But Savage now in control, and he is going to hit a big knee drop onto Hawk, and Hawk is going to roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor once again. On the arena floor, Road Warrior Hawk wins the battle and dumps Dutch Savage with a DDT onto the concrete. Just what Gary Hart ordered there, as Hawk is now in control and Savage doesn't know where he is. Here is an over-the-shoulder backbreaker delivered by Hawk, and he is going to tag back into Animal. Animal hits the ring as Savage gets to his feet. Animal comes at him, whipped to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Dutch Savage, and on a roll of 10, that is the big running specialty move hit by both men. Animal has the turnbuckle advantage. He is first to his feet. He's got the chance to do more damage here, and they're going to go right to the Doomsday device. This is a tag move. It is a +4. The pin roll here would be 7. Stasiak coming in to make the save, unable to do so. Will we see the pinfall here? On a roll of 9, Savage able to kick out. Dutch Savage barely survives the Doomsday device. Hawk now the legal man in the ring, looking to put an end to this match. And now it is the Doomsday device yet again. Stasiak again able to make the pin save. But Savage has taken that move now twice. And the Road Warriors are going to continue their double team beatdown with a deadly elbow smash delivered by Animal. As Savage was being immobilized, the challengers are out of pin saves. And now Animal with a jumping elbow drop. And Savage rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor. On the arena floor, it is Animal winning the brawl on the floor and slamming Dutch Savage into the announcer's table. Dutch Savage night didn't get any better on the outside of the ring. And now it is Animal keeping the action outside the ring. And we will see some shenanigans here. We go to the out of the ring again chart, brought to you by Road Warrior Animal. And on a roll of 10, that's going to be outside interference. Gary Hart is going to get involved on the outside of the ring. And we will see what happens here. On the outside interference chart, the roll is 9. Your ally distracts the referee. The referee orders him to leave. Gary Hart has been escorted away from ringside. And in the middle of the fracas, Dutch Savage able to recover as Gary Hart has been sent off by the referee. Dutch Savage now with a chance to regain some momentum here. And it is Dutch Savage attacking the neck of Road Warrior Animal with a neck crank. Attacking the neck of Road Warrior Animal is kind of like trying to punch out a tree trunk. That dude barely even had a neck. And Animal withstands that, but it is enough for Savage to get a tag into Stasiak, and Stasiak comes in with an open hand slap to the face of Animal. And that's not going to phase Animal either. If anything, it's going to do less damage to Stasiak, as Animal comes back instead with a blatant chokehold on Stan Stasiak. Stasiak and Animal going toe-to-toe, as Stasiak slaps him again. And oh, this time he might have gotten a piece of the eye or something as Animal backs off. And Stasiak with a chance to do some more damage. He has got a choice B maneuver here. He's going to attempt a standing drop kick, but Animal is able to swat that away, and Stasiak misses everything. Animal back in control, a big scoop slam. But Stasiak gets out of the way of that one. Backing out the back door, Stasiak with the reversal, and Stasiak is going to try that standing drop kick again, and this time he caught him. And Animal is stunned. He staggers back and tags in Road Warrior Hawk. Hawk now coming in against Stan Stasiak. And it is Hawk with another forearm pummel. Just pummeling and pummeling and pummeling on Stasiak. Stasiak does his best to stand his ground. Stasiak with the back elbow. Hawk returns fire. Hawk with another big gorilla press slam, and Stasiak hits the mat hard. Hawk now in control. Another big gorilla press slam. Hawk is going to go for the cover. The pin roll here, 3 or lower, and on a roll of 6. Stasiak again able to survive. Hawk now in control. Back to the Doomsday device. The pin roll here is 8 or lower, and on a roll of 7, they got him. So Stasiak and Savage at least kept it entertaining for a time before Stasiak fell prey to the Doomsday device. It is Road Warrior Hawk with the cover, and the Road Warriors have successfully defended the Patriot Tag Team Championship. We will next see the Road Warriors in action at our December pay-per-view, Proud to be Awesome, in Baltimore, and it will be the Road Warriors challenging the Midnight Express for the NWA World Tag Team Championship. So the Road Warriors looking good here. It will be a battle of wits between Gary Hart and Jim Cornette, and a battle of tag team supremacy between the Road Warriors and the Midnight Express in Baltimore next month. All right, that wraps things up for tonight. Had some good matches, and we're getting done here just in time. I believe Dave Gardner from Digital to Dice Network is having his Black Friday show tonight on YouTube. So check that out. I believe that starts in about 7 minutes. And so we will say goodbye to everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. I will not be on the channel next weekend. We've got Thanksgiving next weekend and family coming in. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with more Heartland Championship Wrestling action. Solo promoter Grant Pachoco, Mark Ferguson, Neely Bob in the front row as always. LK3185. Let's see who else stopped by. Kathy Evans was with us tonight. Who else do we have here? Mark Ferguson. I believe I already greeted. Oh, Derek Bauman 802. I missed you coming in, Derek. Thanks for dropping by. Captain Carl. H230. 8230. He used to be just Captain Carl 8, I believe. Now he's gotten all the way up to 8230, and I think that is everybody. If I missed the farewell, my apologies. Thank you to everybody for tuning in tonight. We'll see you back in a couple of weeks. That's our stream, and I am out of here.